Welcome to the MultiSite move-in video using the tenant income certification. I have opened the tax credit module and I'm ready to move in a tenant. Under the group sidebar actions you see on the lower left, on the left side over here, I'm going to click the move in icon. That's the first icon on the top. The tax credit form opens up and my cursor is in the effective date. Now I'm going to demonstrate this without the use of the mouse. I'm going to type in 12/12. Oops, I made a mistake. 12/12/2004. I'm going to press enter. There's my tax credit site, my playground site I made. I'm going to put him into unit 101. That's a 5020 unit. Press enter and I'm enter social security number. I did not have enough numbers, it looks like. Press enter and go to full-time student. If I just tab off of that or hit off of that, it automatically turns to a no. That's all I'm going to enter for this unit, but let's go down to enter the incomes. I can take my mouse and I can move down to the incomes. However, see that 3, the numeral 3, in that little box? I'm going to hold down the control key and press 3 and my cursor goes right to there. I cannot directly enter money into this field. I have to press the F2 key, which will bring up the incomes worksheet. This income summary sheet is empty. There have been no previous incomes added, but I see that the Add Income button on the lower left has got a dotted line around it, so I can just press enter or push with my mouse and I'll bring up the worksheet. I press enter and up comes the annual income worksheet. There's no child, or notice that the Hugh Banker, member number 1, shows up there. I don't need anything in the child care code. I'm going to press enter. When I enter the description box, a pop-up box jumps up. Notice it says type. First few letters, press enter when done. I'm going to type a B, press enter. There, it put the business code in the description. I press enter to go into income code. A box pops up. I'm going to type a W for non-federal wage and press enter. I don't need social security number in this one. The name, entity name, let's call it Jiffy Lube. Popcorn. I'm going to make it easy, periodic. Let's say this guy makes $9,000 one time a year. Now, I can take my mouse and press the Save button, or look at the Save button on the lower right. It's underlined. The S is underlined. That means I can hold down the Control key and press S. Here we are back at the summary. I could add another income by pressing enter because the Add Income button has a dotted line around it. However, I want to close. See the button on the right? The C is underlined. Control C closes it. Now I'm going to enter net family assets. Without taking the mouse, I can hit Control 4. See the 4 right above it over there? I just jump to that. I'll press F2 to call up the worksheet. Add assets, got focus. I press enter. Let's call this, oops, I want to name the name, so put money in my bank. Okay. Earner imputed. Let's say it's they've got $224. I can put it in I can put an interest rate in a calculator, or I could just go down and add the actual income from asset. Control S will save it. Control C will close it. I'm going to hit. I press the page down key to expose Part 5, Determination of Income Eligibility. I can see that the total income from all sources is $9,003 and that the current income limit per family size is $19,650. household income and move-in is $9,300 or $9,003 because we're just moving this person in. Look over to the right. It says this is a market rate tenant. That's because at present this tenant is over income and over rent. Look down to the tenant paid rent. It says $600. Look down below that. The maximum rent limit for this unit is $568. Well, what have we got left to enter? This tenant happens to get a voucher, a $300 voucher. So I'm going to press this RA button, and then it will open up the basic rent screen. Change this tenant rent payment. Let's change the non-project to $300. When I tab off of it, I see that we're out of balance to basic rent by $300. I have to change something. So I'm going to go down to the tenant payment, and I'm going to change that to $300. And when I tab off of it, now we are balanced to basic rent. I save this. We are back to the TIC form, and we see that indeed the tenant paid rent is $300, which is well below the maximum rent allowed. All we have left to do now is save this TIC, and we're done. After we close a TIC, we come back to the cert history of the last person that we entered a TIC for. And here we see Hugh Banker. He has his effective date and next cert date, and the tenant contribution and the utility allowance, $65. This ends this demonstration of tenant income certification move-in. We certainly hope that you enjoyed this as well as learned. Thank you.